Hi everyone, welcome to a new devlog. In this episode, we will look at using custom metahumans in my game and how to use custom clothing. So let's get started. In the previous episode, I was considering whether or not to use metahumans in my project, and I had decided not to do it because my characters with cartoonish heads and unrealistic proportions didn't look quite right. But after careful consideration, I have changed my mind as the strengths outweigh the weaknesses. The reasons are: I can use custom faces, compromising and making the faces less cartoonish. One of the big advantages is I only need to sculpt the face, since the rest of the body comes by default. In the same way, all the texturing of skin, eyes, etc. comes automatically and it's very easy to customize from the tool. I can create different faces, bodies, genders, and ages from the tool, which will allow me to create a lot of variety of NPCs. The character is already retopologized and rigged, which works perfectly with the third-person character. Rigging is something I always struggle with and seem to not get right. So being able to use custom characters that are perfectly rigged is a great advantage for me. Here are two links from Jobutsu, where he explains how to make the Metahuman compatible with the third-person template and how to improve the retarget. The Metahuman comes with the face rigged and ready for facial animations, which is great for expressions and dialogue. Finally, the ease of adding different hairstyles and colors. Hair in video game is complex due to technical limitations. Having this part solved greatly speeds up the character creation process. One of the problems with metahumans is clothing. The tool currently has very few options, so finding a workflow to have custom clothes is very important. On YouTube, several tutorials explain how to create your clothes, but all of them have a problem with my workflow. Let me explain. These tutorials are based on transferring the weight paint from the metahuman's body to the clothes. Our character is a metahuman that is retargeted, which means the bones of the skeleton change their transforms to fit, in this case, many skeleton, and that happens in real time during animations. Maybe I'm wrong here and the problem is something else, but I have done many tests from weight transfer to rigging from scratch, and in both cases the clothes deform fine when we use the original skeleton. But when the character is retargeted, the clothes don't follow the animations correctly. So after a lot of research, I found an option that works amazingly, and it's a software called UDraper. UDraper is a real-time clothing simulation software that has a plugin for Unreal. In my case, I don't use it for simulation yet, but for what they call wrapping, which is skinning the clothes of any character, including metahumans. I'll leave the link to the tool in the description. The advantage of using UDraper is that the clothes fit perfectly to the character during animations, but it also does all the skinning automatically, which not only saves time but also takes away the struggle of rigging. On the other hand, the material options allow you to alter the thickness of the clothes, physical characteristics like cotton, leather, etc., and other settings like roughness, specularity. All in all, a software to consider, especially if you plan to use metahumans in your project. As you can see, a lot of time is being spent in research to find the best workflows not only for character creation, but other assets like environments and props. I have been working on this project for a long time, and sometimes I feel stuck, not progressing much. But planning is something that, in the long run, not only saves time, but can solve doubts during development. Something I learned with the release of my first commercial video game 2 years ago. I hope to be able to start doing more development soon, since all the planning work is almost done. Lastly, I have recycled some old props I have made, applied new materials, and placed them in the scene to add more visual detail to the story. Here you can see them in real time with the new materials and lighting. I like the reflections of the metallic material, especially the shield. These objects will be interactive and the first weapons our hero will use in his adventure. And this has been all the progress of this week. I hope you liked it. Don't hesitate to leave your comments if you have any questions or suggestions. As always, thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for your support. This week we have passed 1,000 followers, and it's a big milestone for me. I really appreciate it. See you soon, and have a great week.